It's a very, very important topic, education system of Azerbaijan, potential collaboration opportunities. We have many relevant speakers from this field, vocational education and other education. And having said that, I would like to hand over to Leila. Let me just give you this last hint before. If you need interpretation, there should be interpretation provided in the interpretation option down on that menu board. I'm not sure if it is installed, but it should be there.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
And second, you have a chat option, which you can use. We have agreed that we would like to have question and answer sessions twice, first before coffee break and after before closing the webinar. If there is something urgent, put it in the chat and Leila will administer it. And I think, yeah, while the admins and while the speakers are speaking, please stay muted. And I think that is already all I had to say. And I hand over to Leila. And once again, thank you very much for joining. And Leila is going to introduce you too.
Thank you, Tobias. Hamını salamlayıram. Palatamızın adından da belli olduğu kimi biz Alman-Azərbaycan Ticarət Palatasıyıq. Bu yüzden cənab Bauman icraçı direktorumuz öz təqdimatını və salamlamanı Alman dilində, İngilis dilində etdi. Mən isə Azərbaycan dilində icazənizlə etmək istərdim. Hamını bir daha salamlayıram. Həm spikerləri, həm iştirakçıları. Bu bizim LEF Network Azərbaycan layihəsi ilə artıq ikinci birgə işimizdir və ümid edirəm ki, bugünkü webinarda iştirakçılar tərəfindən maraqla qarşılanacaqdır. Necə ki, birinci tədbirimizdə çox gözəl qarşılanmışdır. Və cənab Bauman da qeyd etdiyi kimi, tərcümə üçün xahiş edirik aşağıda gördüyünüz düyməni, interpretation düyməsini, lazımı dili seçərək tərcüməni, sinxron tərcüməni siz eşidə biləcəksiniz. Həmçinin chat bölməsində biz bunun üçün detallı instruksiyanı da yerləşdirmişik. Ora baxıb, nəsə anlaşmamazlıq olanda oradan baxıb instruksiyanı oxuya bilərsiniz. Suallarınız olduqda təqdimatlarımız çox maraqlı olacaq, çox maraqlı spikerlərimiz vardır. Bugün və suallarınız arada yarandıqda chat bölməsinə onları qeyd edə bilərsiniz. Biz onların hamısını nəzərə alacağıq və həmçinin də aşağıda əl qaldırmaq düyməsi var. Ona da basaraq siz öz reaksiyanızı verə bilərsiniz. Sizin sualınızı biz sonradan sual-cavab panelində və ya sessiyasında nəzərə alıb onu səsləndirəcəyik. Təşəkkür edirəm və sözü vermək istəyirəm. LEF Network layihəsinin əsas tərəfdaşlarından olan Latviya Ticarət və Sənaye Palatasının nümayəndəsi xanım Liga Sıçeva. Yeah.
So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm representing Latvian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, head of Euro Project Department, and it's my pleasure to see you all here in this webinar. I really hope that every participant of this webinar will receive the great information results for building up international cooperation between all, I would like to say, not only 4, but also that we are cooperating with German, Azerbaijan countries, even 5 countries. Yes, as my colleagues already introduced, LEF Network Azerbaijan project aims to support Estonian, Latvian and Finnish companies to develop trade relationships with Azerbaijan, and for projects financed by Interreg Central Baltic program, and it includes quite a lot of activities focusing for B2B relationship development, starting with trade missions, business forums, with market researches, consultations, and also webinars. And those type of webinars is part of this project, and we are happy that project is actually ongoing for 3 years, and we have finished successfully first year, so I think we will have opportunities to meet each other also for upcoming 2 years. And we are very thankful, first of all, to our partners, Estonian Chamber of Commerce and Industry and Satakunta University of Applied Science from Finland, who is taking responsibility for organizing those webinars. And a great gratitude to our partners, German Azerbaijan Chamber, who is really providing this content, organizing everything. And we are happy that we are cooperating also in this project. So we hope that cooperation will be much wider in the future as well. So wishing you all the great upcoming hours with great content, what will be useful for you, for your business, for your development. So yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Liga Sicheva. And we are right in time, and I would like to and make you understand that my role now is mostly to keep the time schedule. So please don't feel insulted if I stop you at a certain moment. If you extend too much, we have foreseen 5 to 6, 7 minutes for every presentation to make it handy. And as I said, the question answer session will be following before the coffee break at 14:40. No, 14:40 is the coffee break. Question and answer session will be at 14:30. So then we start first with a panel on introduction to the education system in Azerbaijan. We have 3 speakers. First speaker is Aysel Maharamova from the Education Development Fund under the Ministry of Science and Education of the Republic of Azerbaijan, and she's a project specialist there. Aysel, the floor is yours. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Hello, greetings to everyone. I hope I'm heard well. And I will be speaking with your permission in English. And I'll take a moment to share my screen in order to share my presentation. Okay, I hope my screen is seen. Okay. Once again, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be participating in this webinar today. My name is Aysel, and as Tobias mentioned, I'm from the Education Development Fund under the Ministry of Science and Education of the Republic of Azerbaijan. And in my presentation today, I will be mainly talking about the public-private partnership projects implemented by the Education Development Fund. So shortly about the Education Development Fund. The fund, as you can see, it's quite a new institution that was established under the Ministry of Science and Education in 2021. But despite of that, we have done quite a lot, and I will be sharing information about some of the projects. So we basically cover all of the levels of education, which is preschool, secondary school, preschool education, secondary education, general education, and higher education. And looking at our focus areas for the year 2024, we can see that we will mainly focus on working on the projects to expand the university industry partnership. We will continue the implementation of our public-private partnership projects, teachers' professional development, as well as students' personal and professional development activities is a key aspect for us. So we'll continue our works on that. And finally, we'll continue to improve the physical conditions of the educational institutions. Talking about the public-private partnership projects of the Education Development Fund, I should mention here the Education Development Forum, because it's a great example of the public-private partnership. The first Education Development Forum was held in November last year, and it carried the message from education to progress. It had 3 panel discussions that can be seen on the screen: creation of innovation ecosystem, university industry partnership, and education for future. Over 350 participants took part in this forum. They were both from international and national institutions. And one of the goals of this forum, I mean, several goals of this forum, was establishing business relations with foreign participants, planning joint projects together with them, listening to professional speakers, knowledge and technology transfer, and getting answered the questions on the spot by local and international experts. And as a post-forum result, there was the establishment of dialogue and collaboration platform on university industry partnership. Another example of PPP is Sustainable Development Centers. Sustainable Development Centers are currently running under 2 universities. And again, the goals here is to support the personal and professional development of teachers and students by organizing different types of activities such as trainings, masterclasses, and internships. And here, private companies invest in establishing centers in the universities because they are interested in directly working with the university audience, conducting research with them, and raising the personnel that they need for their organization in the future. Supporting girls' education is the key in our mission, and we really focus on doing projects in this area. And one of the projects that we're doing right now is with Nexol Holding. So there is a project that 647 applicants applied to, and 50 students were selected for this project. So they are not only receiving monthly allowances in this project, but they also get to participate in personal and professional activities. Book donation is another example of collaboration with a private company. So we are working with a local supplier of office materials, ING group of companies, and we're donating books to regional schools. In 2023, we've donated 4,800 books, and we are planning to donate 5,000 more in 2024. And some of our upcoming projects for the year 2024 can be seen on the screen. We are planning to create special mobile phone tariff packages for university teachers and students. We are planning to create IT schools at the universities, which focuses on peer-to-peer education. We are planning to build stadiums of the schools and making it available for public in the evenings. And we are currently running the project. We're actually accepting the applications for the project called Expanding Women's ICT Skills with Women in Tech Azerbaijan. So the goal is here is to improve the ICT skills of women aged 15 to 40. And here are some of our partners. And if you would like to follow and contact us, you can use the following addresses. And that's it from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Aysel. Very, very well prepared, short enough and precise enough. And I have a question for the session. But now we switch over to Nermin Ibrahimova, head of the International Cooperations Department at the Azerbaijan State University of Economics. And her topic is Advantages of Education in Azerbaijan. By the way, Azerbaijani students in Germany keep the second place in number every year by stipendia, by grants, after Chinese. So insofar, we have a very, very good score of internationalization of Azerbaijani students in Germany, but the other way around could be interesting as well. I think this is your topic, Amin, right?
Thank you, Tobias, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nermin. As have been mentioned, I'm representing Azerbaijan State University of Economics. So to your question, Tobias, the students and alumni of our universities were #1 who received the DAD scholarships last year. So we are looking forward to the next year for this year, because the interviews are already set up. But I will mostly talk about the grant projects, the international projects that our department is coordinating, the projects that have been received by our university, and also the projects where our university is partnering. So I will share my screen with you so that you could have an access to my presentation. Okay, I think it's on. So I will just briefly explain and talk about, So I will just, because I will talk about the Erasmus Plus projects, I will just briefly explain what Erasmus Plus projects are and how our university actively participates in those projects. So, there are many types of Erasmus projects. To some of them, Azerbaijan is not eligible, and some of them, our country is eligible, and the universities in Azerbaijan are eligible to apply to those grant proposals. So, one of them is Jean Monnet model projects, or Jean Monnet project, and the other one is capacity building in the higher education, which is called Key Action 2 projects. So I would just like to briefly explain the meaning behind those kind of terms, and then I will move to actual projects that are being coordinated by our university. So for the Jean Monnet project is mostly teaching the subjects which are very famous, very well known, very popular in European Commission in the countries of Europe, and then teaching those practices to students of our university. And then for capacity building projects, it's mostly learning the experience of European universities and their best practices, and then applying and adopting those practices in Azerbaijan. So the Jean Monnet projects are mostly focusing on teaching. The capacity building projects are mostly focusing on increasing the capacity of the faculty members at the higher education institutions in Azerbaijan. So let me talk about the Refresh project. And this project is being coordinated by our university. So the project is about transitioning into green economy, learning the experience of renewables, energies, education in European countries, and then adopting those experiences to the local universities in Azerbaijan. For this project, we have 4 European universities, which are being listed in here. I won't go into the details of those universities. So those are like Italian, Swedish, Denmark, and Spain universities from Spain, who we are having a study visits to those countries and then learning the experiences and then implementing those experiences in 6 different universities in Azerbaijan. Those include our university as well as 5 other universities located in different regions like Mingechevir, Genge, Lankaran, and Sungayit. I think we have some partners from the project here in our meeting. And then next, I would like to talk about the Jean Monnet model project, which also is being coordinated by our university. This project specifically focuses on the project management in European Union, because the project management is like a specific, I have to say, a tool, an approach that needs to be taught to the students here in Azerbaijan, so that they could have, because there is the opportunity in European Union through project management. The course helps the students have an access to those opportunities and learn how they can utilize those opportunities, and who wants to continue their career in that area. So next, I would like to talk about the next capacity building project. Our university is a partner in this project. It's about transforming our higher education into digitalization, and also spreading the open science principles in Georgia and in Azerbaijan. The next project where our university is partnering is the Engage project. This project mostly focuses on building capacity for the course of entrepreneurship at the local universities in Azerbaijan. And there are 11 Azerbaijani universities who are learning the European experience on entrepreneurship, how the practical side of entrepreneurship at the European universities, and how the syllabi, how the course curriculum has been designed in those universities so that they could adopt those experiences to local universities in Azerbaijan. And then I have one more project that I would like to briefly mention. And this is, again, Jean Monnet project. It is about teaching the digital entrepreneurship strategies for students at our university. Like I myself, I'm teaching foundations of entrepreneurship at our university. And through this Jean Monnet project, I am able to teach my students the European experience and practice in digital entrepreneurship. So these are kind of the overview of projects where our university actively works with European Commission through Erasmus Plus Jean Monnet and capacity building projects, and helps to increase the facilities and as well as the capacity of the faculty at our university. That's all from my side. Thank you very much for your attention, and over to you, Tobias.
So now, thank you too for this impressive record of European projects, of projects in cooperation with the European Union and Commission. This is quite a very good impression which we got from you in that direction. And I would like to switch over to Leyla Musaiva. She's the Deputy Head of the International Cooperation Department at the Baku Slavic University. So your counterpart at the Slavic University. Her topic is opportunities for cooperation on local education in Azerbaijan. Leyla Musaiva, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm here. Hello, everyone, dear participants. And thank you for, first of all, let me to greet you on behalf of Baku Slavic University, and also express my deep gratitude to all organizers of this fruitful meeting. And let me to share my presentation with your permission. Just a second.
Leyla Hanım, nasıl bir problem var?
Yok, bir dakika, demonstrasyon ekranı eliyorum, açılsın. Aslında kliklenmiş ama.
Bence.
Sadece fırlana kaldı. Peki siz açarsınız benden.
Bir süre gibi.
Ben de nasıl açmadım?
Levan'ı biz açabiliriz.
Göndermiştim.
Aha,
Lakin açmadım.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So my name is Leyla Musaiva. I'm Deputy Head of the International Cooperation Department of BSU, and today I'm going to give you very brief information about Baku Slavic University, general information about cultural center programs, foreign lecturers and students, and also bit information about the international cooperation at our university, partner universities, mobility programs, Erasmus Plus programs, and so on. Thank you for your attention. So, next slide, please. In 1946, the Azerbaijani Institute, I would like just first to say our vision is to be a leader in higher education, preparing students to contribute to and succeed in a complex world. And mission is to train highly qualified specialists who are competitive and competent, responsible, with deep knowledge, and also constantly increase the level of professional training in their specialty, creative and innovations, respectful of human rights. Founded in 1946, the Azerbaijani Institute named after Mirza Fatih Hundur was founded, and it was first a pedagogical institute for training Russian language teachers and literature. And in the 2000, by the decree of our national leader, Haydar Aliyev, on the basis of the Pedagogical Institute of Russian Language and Literature, Baku Slavic University was founded. Currently, the university trains personnel in more than 30 specialties, and we have over than 5,000 students from more than 20 countries, over 600 staff, and more than 70 programs of study. Our two countries are always human. Currently, the university runs faculties of education, philology, foreign language teachers, and the following two faculties are new at our university: the Faculty of West European Languages and the Faculty of East European Languages as well. So, Faculty of Social Sciences on the bachelor, master, and doctoral levels. Education at Slavic University mainly conducted in two languages, these are Azerbaijani and Russian, but in English language we have only specialty in master, international relations, and diplomacy. So, for in this screen, you can see that our university offers foundation programs in Azerbaijani, Russian, and English languages, and we have also bachelor programs, 30 plus bachelor programs, 44 programs for master degree, and doctoral programs. So on the next slide, you can see, I will not cite all the programs here. You can see on the screen what kind of specialties we have on bachelor, undergraduate degree. Then on the next slide, there is for master degree programs. Please, for the next slide. As our university, our university specializes on Slavic languages, but despite this fact, we have also foreign language teachers as English, Germany, France, and other languages as well. On the next slide, you will see the doctoral programs. Yeah, these are the doctoral programs, so you can see that Slavic languages, Turkic languages, linguistics, journalism, international relations, and psychology as well. So, on the next slide, I would like you to give just short information about our foreign students that currently studies at our university. We have about 150 foreign students from more than 20 countries, like we have citizens from United States of America, we have from Turkey, we have from Ukraine, Korea, and others. And our university also offers students dormitory for foreign students, and which is provided with all the necessary equipment. And just a little brief information about the documents that our foreign students need to provide us while applying to our university. This admission process you can see on our screen. Please. For the international relations and cooperation, I would like to just give. Okay. Here we have just some. Also provide them to take them to different kind of historical places in order not to be boring to study at our university.
Yeah, Hanım, you have the voice problem.
She's frozen. Oh, yeah.
Maybe you should close the video.
Around the globe, and we have over than 90 agreements. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So this year we have renewed about 10 contracts and about 20 new contracts we have been signed, and based on these agreements, our
Leyla Hanım, sizin ses probleminiz var. Biz sizi eşidə bilmirik. Təəssüf ki, siz bizi eşidə bilirsiniz.
Leyla Hanım, səsiniz gəlmir.
Okay,
also participate in different summer schools, and our academic staff, great importance is also given to our academic staff so that they just participate in different kind of advanced training process, as online and as physical as well. And about the Erasmus Plus programs, I would like to say that as Baku University, we participate in different Erasmus projects, in Janmone programs and capacity building projects as well. So 3 years ago, we participated in the Petra project, which was just implemented at our country. And for this year, we applied for Janmone projects and capacity building as well. This is about the partners, and just a few words about our foreign lecturers that we have currently at our university. We actively cooperate with the NAVA agency in Poland, and each year this agency sends us the lectures. Currently, we have lecture from Poland. She teaches Polish language to our students, which specializes on Polish translation, then the regional studies on Poland and other specialties. And also we have a foreign lecturer from Bulgarian, Republic of Bulgaria. She's teaching Bulgarian language, and we have our lecturer from Greece as well, Maria Delaghe. Of course, we are open to cooperate with many universities from around the globe, from the Baltic countries as well. We would like to cooperate with the Latvian, Lithuanian, and the universities from Latvia as well. So, as a Baku University, we are open for all who would like to cooperate with our university. This is all for now. Thank you for attention, And on our slide, you can see the contacts in case you would like to contact with us. Thank you for your attention and for this opportunity.
Thank you, Leila. Thank you for your presentation and for keeping the schedule. And also, I learned that the Slavic University is not only teaching Slavic languages, but also German and other languages, which is very... Yes, good.
Yes. Sure, as well as alongside with the Slavic languages, there are German, French languages, English languages as well.
Yes, yeah. I've seen that. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
More questions after the next session. We switch over to vocational education in Azerbaijan, which is one of the most important topics for the Chambers organization, especially for the German Chambers organization. And I'm very happy that in the last years, there is much more focus on vocational education as well. And this session, we start with Nigar Ismailzadeh, Deputy Director and of the Department of Work with Employers and Innovative Projects at the State Agency for Vocational Education, which also exists already for 7 years, I think, right? The topic is importance of vocational education in Azerbaijan. Nigar, go ahead. Thanks for coming.
Teşekkür ederim cənab Tobias Bauman. Etiraz etmirsinizsə, mən çıxışıma başlayardım. Bölüşüm demək bu skrini.
Bir problem yarandığı təqdirdə mən də bölüşə bilərəm, əgər istəsəm.
Yox, məncə bir dəqiqə görünür.
Xeyr.
Yox.
Bəs indi?
İndi gəlir deyəsən, bəli. İndi görünür.
Okey. Demək, bizdə peşə təhsilindən təbii ki danışacağıq.
As stated from the title, we will be speaking of the vocational education. As you know, this is one of the priority issues for the Azerbaijani government at the moment, as for economic development and as well as for diversification of the economy. We are implementing a number of reforms, which is obviously dependent on the development of human capacity. And vocational education is an important ingredient, is an important component in the process. And for this to happen, we do explore international experience and we implement a number of activities on adapting international experience in Azerbaijan. So, vocational education system in Azerbaijan is presented here. It will be quite a short brief, as we have some guests who might be unaware. So, vocational education is of multi-level. We have sub-bachelor programs to provide access to higher education, and it provides access to higher education without exams. At the same time, we have also developed additional programs in order to provide more expedited access to labor markets through short-term programs, also the programs that provide secondary education certificates, so graduates can easily access the labor market. And so we work with a lot of employers in order to enhance this component.
bacarıqlarının formalaşdırılması üçün istifadə edilsin. Qəbul prosesi bizdə demək
So admission
onlayn qaydada həyata keçirilir.
is done in an online format, and it's quite it's a digitalized process to make it transparent. So in 58 regions, provinces, we have vocational education institutions, and in Baku we have about 15 vocational education, and we have 15, but we're planning to increase their number, and 8 more are being launched, will be launched in liberated Karabakh. So the data clearly shows an increasing interest to vocational education, and we are doing our best to develop the amount or expand the number of professions, and so we're looking into design, interior design, and some other fields, not to be stuck only on like very basic professions. And gradually we are also making it more and more attractive, not only to young people, but all the ages and all people of all ages. Also, I have to highlight that we have specific provision and decrease on the development of vocational education, and development of human capital is something which is part of strategic documents for the country, and this has to be done in a way that will help to make the market more competitive, make our people more competitive, and our strategic goals have clearly outlined in the strategies and so on. So we're gradually moving to per capita financing, infrastructure development, we're increasing the capacity of vocational schools, and we are engaging with industry more and more, with employers more and more. So we also engage them in the management, including the boards of schools, as well as we are trying to apply dual vocational education model of Germany, and we want to design in a way that employers participate in the entire chain. There are some professions where employers want people, but we don't have them. So we want to design curriculum with their participation, assess better the market, and meet the needs. We also have social economic development strategy. We have national priorities, as well as we have first great return program, where vocational education has a specific provision on. And indeed, we have the streamlining of vocational education is something which we can see in many documents. In order to increase the scope or the coverage of vocational education, you can see on the map the distribution of the vocational education institutions, and a lot has been done, but still a lot shall be done. In Karabakh, as I have said, there would be 8 vocational schools, and these schools will be built using green technologies. And as you know, Karabakh is going to be a green zone, so we are targeting to develop capacity of green economy specialists through these vocational education schools. So there will be short-term courses, long-term courses. Overall, we plan to cover around 6,000 people through this network. But as you can see, this is under the first Great Return program, and covering around 6,000 people. And when it comes to access and engagement to vocational education, to VET, we do have a law on vocational education, and so it was obviously the main law. And in order to increase the access, we have introduced a number of measures. So on cybersecurity and on some other professions, we are increasing our capacity, and we're also organizing national competitions. We're supporting participation of our students abroad, and with the vision of introduction international standards and developing capacity of our students. So for the last 3 years, we have increased our students by 30%, and there is greater interest to vocational education these days. And we can see more and more competition. As well as there are internships, there are scholarships, and there is a financing mechanism. And financing mechanisms are becoming more and more flexible. Vocational education institutions can attract extra budgetary funds in order to fund the salaries, or they can apply for different grants, and this was possible through the changing the institutional format. And so also we're trying to eliminate gender discrimination, like there are no criteria like this specialty is only for, or this profession is only for men or women, and we're trying to make it more and more accessible. For the first time this year, we opened a new position of career advisor, and the organizational structure is gradually transforming and changing to meet the international standards. So about a month ago, Cabinet of Ministers decreed to have new career advisors and new centers or new individuals to support students of vocational schools. And indeed, the schools can now enjoy having an independent international cooperation departments and so on.
Daha çox, yəni onlar işləyirlər bizim işə götürənlərlə.
We have a number of leading, or so to say, flagship vocational education institutions. So from Gabele, from Ismaili, from Lankaran, they have already experience in cooperating with different international partners. And Gabele Vet School created a business workshop and is organizing trainings, is working closely with COBIA, State SME Support Agency, and others, and organizing different events for the employment of the graduates. When it comes to our industry partnership or partnership with the employers, so development of, we have here the dual degree programs, we have curriculum and program development, we have career centers, we have world skills and short-term trainings. And needless to say, the Vocational Education Agency has been promoting the idea of creating supervisory board for the vocational education institutions, and gradually more and more institutions are getting those supervisory boards. On the application of dual model in Azerbaijan on a micro and micro level, we have carried out some activities. From 2015, some practices have been already exploited. So we we kicked off with the tourism sector and in Gabele, İsmailli, and Gah, adding agricultural sector as well. So then we have had a number of short-term programs. And we have been using we piloted some elements of German model. And here I would say we have been quite successful, namely in the tourism sector. So employers are coming out with a request, and I would like to thank AHK because they have sent their some concept paper and so on. And the feedback from the feedbacks we received from employers was essential in the design or in the amendments to the legislation, to the regulation, as well as in our policy implementation. It was essential. And also, you know, in small issues like enacting some agreements and so on. And again, it's hardly possible to copy-paste any model, but some of the components have been critically important and have been very useful. And at the moment, we are still in the process of implementing dual education in Azerbaijan. And I believe we will have quite an established system. We do have challenges, that goes without saying. You know, there are some collisions in the legislation, sometimes when the partners are not ready, you know, when sometimes schools are not mature enough, or private sector partners are facing some challenges in the implementation process. And there's need for some additional incentives. Sometimes those incentives are not in place in order to encourage industry and VET partnership. But along this being a challenge can be also an opportunity. You can see the existing distribution of the VET schools, and we can see the partnerships. At the moment, we have 20 private partners, and with 872 students in 48 groups, we are implementing dual program. And we can see growing number of employment, and thanks to dual education, we can see more and more job offers for our students. On the opportunities, indeed, industry partnership and partnership with the employers is important, and as well as the importance of PPP in dual education and introduction of supervisory boards or board of trustees important. And another potential area for cooperation is further advancement and further development of our legal framework. Once again, thank you very much for providing this opportunity, for bringing us all together and sharing our successes as well as ideas with fellow colleagues. It was a great platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Nigar Ismailzadeh, also for your for mentioning the importance of involving the private sector into vocational education. This is one of our main topics in that field, and a person who is taking care of this is Mehmet Jakar, who is currently the project manager of a vocational education project, which we do in cooperation with Azerbaijani institutions and also with the Agency for Vocational Education. And what I want to say is that also Marco Lietze from Germany is here, because the project partner in Germany is BIVE, which stands for the Education Agency of the Economic Associations of Baden-Württemberg, which is a state in southwest Germany. So Mehmet Jakar is giving us an insight into this project, and I'm pleased that you're here and that you can present. Thank you.
Hello, thank you very much, Mr. Baumann. First of all, I'd like to greet all attendees of the webinar. My name is Mehmet Çakar, as Mr. Baumann already mentioned. Currently, I've been working as a project manager of an ongoing German state-funded project in Azerbaijan. AHK Azerbaijan, and also a state agency for vocational education is our supporting partners. I would like to little bit see today's topic a little bit different view. As my topic of today, I would like to emphasize that stabilization in any sector, in any foreign country, is definitely the first wish of foreign donors. Yeah? As one of the international donors which has been implementing a long-lasting dual TVET project, I would like to bring front a little bit easiness of the working in Azerbaijan in terms of project implementation for internationals, let's say. Yeah. As some of you may know, there are plenty of international donors which were and which have already been in Azerbaijan, yeah, such as European Union, USAID, Sparkasse Stiftung, UNDP, Asian Development Bank, GIZ, and BMZ is the project donor of our project, for example. In spite of the fact that there's been some misinformation about Azerbaijan in the media, yeah, the conditions are totally supportive and stabilized in terms of education, as well as there are innumerous opportunities for foreign donors in the country. It is also a clear proof that many worldwide well-known donors still continue supporting to increase the existing awareness raising and try to somehow draw the attention on vocational education in Azerbaijan. Some of the important reasons that attracts is also some of the reasons which attract us to implement a project in Azerbaijan. Yeah, for example, this socio-economic transformation and young population. According to the statistics from 2023, almost 23% of the population is between 14 and 29 years old in Azerbaijan. Yeah. On the other hand, the country produces 2/3 of the gross domestic product in South Caucasus, which would be also an attractive reason for internationals. Furthermore, as Nigar Hanım already mentioned, vocational education or dual-wet, let's say, is not dual-wet, perhaps not, but the vocational education is not only aimed for the youth, but also people at any age in terms of lifelong learning. Yeah. One of the other reasons that we can bring front is the gender equality and all these promotions, yeah, to provide equality for the women as well. And we've seen, according to our observation, many new fields, yeah, in which also women take some roles. For example, we have been implementing a project currently. We have automotive sector. Yeah, we are teaching electrical engines, which is like the future. We somehow try to integrate some female candidates into this. Thank you very much for the agency, Nigar Hanım, as well, for their support every time when we need. Furthermore, what we can say, there is a really high demand in labor market. Yeah, we are looking from the little bit education point of view, but on the other hand, we see a very large high demand in labor market because majority of the employers really complaining about the disqualified, the unqualified employees. Yeah. through the projects which we have been implementing, somehow we try to remove this bias from the mind of the people. Yeah, the people now starting to know the importance of dual education and the added value what they can have in upcoming years. One of the other reasons what we can name for Azerbaijan, its geopolitical position. Yeah, Azerbaijan is located in a very strategical point of Caucasus and very close. They're very easy access to Europe, China, and everywhere. So it makes also Azerbaijan attractive for the internationals. Yeah. I would like to little bit mention about the project which we've been implementing that you may have some idea. We have here 2 pilot schools and then 2 different fields. One of them is the automotive and the other one is the ICT. In automotive, mainly, beside the regular routine topics, we teach hybrid and electrical engines. Yeah. On the other hand, we have ICT field where we train cybersecurity, data analysis, and even robotics. Again, we have 2 supporting partners here. One of them is AHK Azerbaijan, and the other one is the State Agency on Vocational Education. Now, in Azerbaijan, the vocational education and training institutions used to be, again, according to our observations, as theory and practice totally separated. Yeah, it was one of the main reasons that the lack of the, I think, the unqualified employees, yeah, in the regional labor market. In most cases, I think through all these, let's say, reforms which have been done by the state, yeah, they've been decreased. At the moment, it was the very beginning of the, I think one of our speakers mentioned, there are lots of public-private projects which really help to bring also private sector into dual education. Yeah, we've been implementing already for 2 years project in Azerbaijan, and we remarkably noticed that the number of the let's say the companies who are really interested in taking part in dual system is remarkably increasing, and it's really important support of this agency and also the project which we have been implementing. In the recent years, for example, many important progresses in vocational education reform has been made. Yeah, we can see it in different sources and so. But what I really noticed that it is not only in Azerbaijan, you know, bring the reforms, but it's been implemented. It's been really approached. Yeah, the development of the vocational education is really one of the main requirements, has become a very important, let's say, instrument in real life. Yeah, in this regard, one can feel the state's interest and desire to implement vocational education reforms. Yeah. Furthermore, one of the very important, let's say, experience what I would like to transfer you is especially the fields. The fields are very interesting. As Frau Miss Nigar Hanım already mentioned, you know, besides, you know, there are lots of, I don't know, hairdresser and so that kind of skills. On the other hand, it is very clear that there is a high demand also niche fields such as the fields like Industry 4.0, robotics, cybersecurity, and so the people are really slowly really getting know the importance of vocational education. In recent years, the interest on the dual vocational education has observably increased via the vocational education project. There are many projects which is funded by, I don't know, UNDP, also, I don't know, the Asian development, but many donors, yeah. The collaboration with some of the leading European countries in dual system have really boosted the level of dual system in the country, and it's really remarkable. With the efforts and systematic cooperations with European countries, the majority of the population are getting know the importance of dual VET, because we shouldn't forget dual vocational education is not only a vocational school. Yeah, this is a triangle among students. But when we say students, we're talking about the children at the age of 15, 16, meaning that we need to include also parents into this, yeah. And the other component is the vocational schools, and on the other side we have companies, yeah. This circulation, this chain needs to really work very smoothly, yeah. Once we manage this, everything runs well. And what I've seen in Azerbaijan, it's getting every day much better. And what I've known, again, as I mentioned to you, the interest of the people are changing. I think there is a really high demand on more complex fields, yeah. As mentioned, such robotics, ICT, smart farming, or any technological field which is dealing with Industry 4.0, yeah. People really see the importance, yeah. The long and the short of the matter, Azerbaijan has made a great progress in the field of dual vocational education and continues on a very good path. But as the main aim is to provide sustainability, especially, yeah, we still need international actors, new know-hows. Please keep in your mind that I'm here ready personally, and also AHK Azerbaijan, we are always ready to guide you or to inform you in case of any kind of need you need. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mehmet. And also thank you, Ilkin Nazarli, for your patience. We started a little bit later, but we still have enough time. I think we have a good time buffer for the question and answer session. So we will finish today right in time. And but now we hear Ilkin Nazarov, who is on Nazarli, who is the manager and expert of SEFT Consulting, and his topic is internationalization of VET in Azerbaijan.
I hope you can hear me well. Thank you very much indeed. I would like to thank AHK for organizing this event. I'll try to I will talk about internalization of the vocational education, and I will talk about this, and I'll talk about the activities we have within our project. We know well. His voice is not audible properly. He has to come closer to the. Can you stop the gentleman, because he doesn't hear?
Yes, Ilkin, you have to get closer to the microphone. Otherwise, the interpreter cannot hear you speaking properly.
Neither the participants can hear.
It's very
far in the back.
It's very far away. Your voice is far away.
Okay,
that's much. Now it's better.
Okay.
Let me greet you again. And I'd like to thank AHK for organizing this event. So I will shortly talk about on the project we have on vocational education, and I will speak of its impact on internationalization. We know that most of we know that most of the labor force, majority of the labor force is highly educated, but the demand is to professional education, is to vocational skills. So, and from this perspective, the value of vocational education is growing, and internalization of vocational education and its alignment with the international standards is critical, because the demand overall to graduates of vocational education is higher. And if we look at the structure of our education system, you can see that young people, we need to provide more employment for young people, and adaptation to international standards will be critical for these young people as well. Without these standards, we can barely expect any mobility. So, as of last year, we embarked on a new project with the primary beneficiary being state-led agency and education quality fund, and in order to bring standards in line with the international ones. And we know well that one of the leading standards is European quality assurance guidelines or principles, what is called EQUARED. Based on these guidelines, in Azerbaijan, we are improving quality assurance, and we're trying to bring it closer to international standards through development of criteria, through adaptation of those criteria and through testing those criteria in vet schools, and in two of the institutions we have had this process, and we're paying attention to some of the standards. Sorry, gentleman is not making any breaks. It's very monotonous, so my interpretation is also monotonous, just for your information. So we are doing that to make sure that institutions can go through the accreditation properly. And going back to the European quality assurance guidelines, we are also have defined the roadmap for vocational education schools here, and the results of the first tests can be deemed satisfactory. And for us here is the main question is what to concentrate on. The most important issue here is the development of strategic vision, or vision for strategic development, to develop their strategic development capacity, and the development of annual work plans, inter alia. It can be also. Okay, his voice again dropped from the. Leila intercepted. Okay. The third important issue,
sistemin her
quality assurance is to develop QA system in every school, in every institution, and the new guidelines also have requirement for having quality assurance specialists in the vocational education institutions. The next area is to standardization of teaching and learning. Another important field is capacity development of educators, of teachers, to orient them not only towards theoretical knowledge, but also skills, and opening up more opportunities for practicing those skills. And another critical issue is to enhance and strengthen cooperation, something Ms. Nigar has already talked about, And last but not the least, on the information, building an information system. The very reason I have listed all of this is to demonstrate that you will see that vocational education institutions are going to embark on these standards more and more, and gradually, as the schools adhere to these principles, they will see quite a clear progress in improving the capacity of their teachers, as well as improving the quality of their graduates. Another area of our focus is to encourage wet institutions to develop their strategic planning, something that was neglected for many years. For this to happen, they need to develop capacity, as well as alignment of the content of vocational education with the labor market and labor market demand, and refreshing or updating those the content on a more frequent basis, not like once in 3 or 5 years. That might be quite late. Another important issue is comprehensive approach based on international modern standards for quality assurance in teaching, and right now there is a support in making them closer to the international standards. It's quite pleasant to see that in vocational education institutions we see specialists on QA. Another important area, something which is under development right now, is close integration with the labor market. On this dimension, it's important to further reinforce activities. As I have said earlier, last year we have tested these standards in 2 institutions. We provided our feedbacks and recommendations. In 2024, we are planning to work closely with 4 institutions in order to support their development. I do look forward that in future, in the coming years, these standards and these approaches will be cascading to all other vet schools. Right now it's in a pilot stage, and probably there will be need for fine-tuning, for further breaking down those standards into some regulations. And I believe that the vision is to apply these standards throughout the system, and having these standards in place will reinforce quality assurance. It will domestically improve their quality, as well as make them available for international accreditation. Definitely, the schools have to build the system, then be assessed by the international, let's say, auditors or assessors, and then be and check their adherence to those standards. This is all I wanted to say, and I would be delighted to take your questions if you have them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, too, from our side for your valuable contribution. And as you mentioned already, we have a question and answer session right now. We have a couple minutes, and the floor is open. If you have a question to Aysel or Leila, Nermin has left, as far as I understood, Nigar, Mehmet, or Ilkin. So raise your hands. You can speak up or put it in the chat. I may have a question to Leila. May I start? Leila Musaeva. You were talking about the education of translators, but is there any institute, department, or school for simultaneous interpreters? Is that a topic of your university? Because we very often are missing a good, let's say, choice of available interpreters.
Your has the raised.
You're muted, Leila. You have to open your microphone. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, pretty well.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to clarify. You mean French language or German? I've just missed that point.
Any.
Or in whole for all languages.
Simultaneous
Any
interpretation.
languages?
Simultaneous.
No, wait, not many. Yes, I understand. Not mainly simultaneous translation. We just our specialty is like translator and language. For example, from a German language to Russian or to Azerbaijan, or Slavic languages like Polish from Azerbaijan to Polish, or Polish, Russian, Bulgarian, Slavic language. As from this year, we have a German translator as well. But as a specialty of simultaneous interpreter, no, just like interpreter.
Mm-hmm. Because you see a growing number of conferences, of events, of internationalization in Azerbaijan, and a growing need for good interpretation, simultaneous interpretation, conference interpretation. But there is no school and Azerbaijan for this, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, we do not have.
And there's no discussion about having it or investing in a one, or?
No, why not? Why not? We are open to collaborate and to establish such kind of opportunity if there will be any opportunity. For example, as I have mentioned, we didn't have a specialty like translator German language, German Russian or German Azerbaijan, but from this year we already have these. This specialty, and maybe in future we will also look opportunities to for this specialty as well, as you said, simultaneous translator. That's an interesting point, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Other questions?
The raising hand from the Gunatai, then Francesco Bancini.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So my question to Mehmet Bey, who have explained the details of the VET education in Azerbaijan. And first of all, I would like to thank and appreciate your hard work, because VET education vocational education is very important. Oh, I just confused. You have mentioned VET education. Yes, sorry. So yeah, you said that you have pointed out on a very sensitive issue about the gender equality, which is very important in our country. As you know, the regions especially underestimate the female candidates, and you said that you are trying to involve females also to participate in your programs. So is there any specific measures or actions that you are implementing to involve the females, or just convince or persuade the families that it is very important for women as well? Thank you.
Yunatay Hanım, thank you very much for the interesting questions. Also, pleasure for me to respond it. As someone who is always support the girls, as I have 3 daughters. So, I mean, there is not very specific, let's say, criteria for this, but what the process, what we apply. For example, we try to organize once or twice a year Girls' Day, yeah? So we invite them or we visit the schools, yeah, the high schools, the secondary schools, and inform them. We organize Parents' Day. As mentioned, we have 2 pilot schools. I can also kindly invite you one day when we organize it, one of our pilot schools. One school is located in Dernegül, which is next to Elit Ticaret Merkezi, Senayi İnovasyalar Üzere Peşe Tahsil Merkezi. And the other school is in Sumgayit, inside of the chemical park, also another vocational school. For example, this time we just newly shot a video including some female candidates in the automotive sector. It's our aim next year to include them in real. I mean, from our point of view, in our project as well, there is nothing that women cannot do which is done by men. Yeah, it's simple. It is also one of our targets, what we need to reach. We have 30% of female and disadvantaged groups under our indicators, which we need to reach. Yeah, but the best way is, as you already mentioned, to convince them. Unfortunately, to be a woman, it is not only Azerbaijan; it's a general, global somehow problem. Yeah, we need to convince the parents. Yeah, and we need to explain first, or in the same time, both parents and the girls, the added value of working as a mechanics, for example, car mechanics. Yeah, they need to know. They need to know. You don't need the power. Yeah, you may work at the reception of X. I don't give the brand name. One important brand, for example. Yeah, you don't need to repair the car only. Yeah, we need also smiley faces. Yeah, this is convincing power, as you mentioned. We organize different events. We invite them, we inform them, and we convince them. And we are really stubborn with that. And we know the year by year. Also, with Mr. Tobias, we go together. We organize some events to increase the number of the female candidates. I don't know if the response is satisfactory for you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
So Francesco has raised his hand.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. This meeting webinar has been really, really brilliant. So I have a question, and I'm curious about to understand more from Mr. Ilkin Nazarov. You mentioned about teaching and learning, skills, competencies, and because we are an IB school, we are into the teaching and learning, skills, competencies, and international accreditation. So the question is, how does he envisage the implementation of the teaching and learning, or improving teaching and learning and improving the skills in a national context in Azerbaijan or international context in Azerbaijan, and how the international accreditation agencies are taking into consideration skills. What normally international accreditation agency do, just go to a school and assess the school based on standards. But there's nothing at the moment about how to assess skills. I'm just curious and popped in my mind as soon as he mentioned about this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me take this question in English.
Okay. Thank you very much for your questions. So regarding the internationalization or to refer international standards, Azerbaijan approved a national co-location framework in 2018. So something like 5 years ago. And this national co-location framework referred to European co-location framework. So, and now we have 8 levels, and this framework is covering 8 levels. So, including from from primary schools till to PhD. So according to these standards, and all education system to be integrated to these standards. Because of limited time, I didn't give more information about that. And now the Ministry of Education already working on this. And as you know, our higher education system already joined to Bologna process, and this is also in line with national collocation framework, because for the higher education there is a standard which is calling ESG standards, and based on this already for higher education the accreditation system already established. And last years, during the last several years, several higher education institutions already accredited. And at the same time, now it's already expanding to vocational education, secondary specialized education, which is also it's between the vocational education and higher education, and also general education. Already drafted all these standards, and all this there is two standards, which is according to international, there is a standard for institutional accreditation. And there is a standard for program accreditation, which is your question is referred to program accreditation. So, and you know, institutional accreditation, it is much easier than the program accreditation, because as you mentioned, for program accreditation, already knowledge skills, it's a subject for evaluation. And so that's why already this quality assurance agency started for institutional accreditation and already started to work on program accreditation. First, it will be introduced in higher education. Still, it's not introduced. And second, it will be expand to secondary specialized education. But for vocational education and general education, generally it's referred to institutional accreditation, because it is difficult for that to go for program accreditation. And under the program accreditation already, it's each program, and there's very carefully reviewing about the results and etc. But I note, but institutional accreditation also has a standard regarding this result of the education about this, but it's not evaluating very wide. And at the same time, also for your information, this Education Quality Assurance Agency now is affiliate member of it's calling the European Quality Assurance Association. It's calling ENGA, and in next years, they are going to be full members. So it means when this education agency will have the accreditation, when they get this full membership, then it means their standards will be recognized minimum in EU area. And you know, if you have the EU standards, then it's recognizing in over the world. So, and in this case, the work is going, but I would not say it's, you know, the education system is very complicated and you need more time to go for reform, sometimes 10 years, sometimes 20 years. But now the ministry is working on that, and we also somehow trying to support them to bring these standards to the country. And fully these standards, it's in line with EU standards. Okay.
So I hope the question is answered, and I would like to bring you to a little break from now on. You have time to get a coffee, to relax a bit until 14:50. This is in 10 minutes, 11 minutes. For the last session, half an hour session with Günay Masimova, Head of Baku Education Information Center, Francesco Banchini from the European Azerbaijan School, and Günay Kazimova of Baku Oxford School. So we also have the primary and secondary education at international schools in Azerbaijan, which is interesting. See you later within the next 10 minutes. No, in 10 minutes, and relax a bit until then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thought I was losing who I call myself today in this world of illusion. Didn't dare to sing my name. That was when you came along.
10 dakika verdi. 10 dakika verdi. 10 dakikadan sonra zəng çalacağım burada. Sən qura. Hə.
Oh, where I'll go if you weren't standing next to me. Your arms have carried me for miles. Here's where I belong. And unfading. I just need to love you like I do. So I don't know where I would be or where I'll go if you weren't standing next to me. Your arms have carried me for miles. Here's where I belong. I've been running away from now and everything. Everything you see, recalling the things I won't remember. Remembering a feel, I can't deny it. Just wanna hide it and let it go away. But you have shown me that I can be free and face the world again. And I don't know where I'll be or where I'll go if you weren't standing next to me. Your love will carry me for life, and I don't know where I will be or where I'll go if you weren't standing next to me. Your arms have carried me for miles. Here's where I belong. Oh, here's where I belong. Here's where I belong.
And we're back at third quarter planning. Adams is quarterbacking this project, and it's looking pretty tired, Jill.
She's stuck, Bill, and that deadline is looming.
Looms for us all, Jill.
Wait a minute. She just pulled a Grammarly.
That is a smart move by Adams. Grammarly is an AI writing partner. Helps you make your point.
Look at that, Bill. She just asked Grammarly to help her write a summary of her doc, and she's shortening it. Beautifully done.
Oh, no. Flag on the play. I see messages coming her way.
And it's the CEO, Bill. Can Adams handle the pressure?
Is she? Yeah, she is. She's using Grammarly to stay on the ball, and she's sounding even more confident, Jill.
I mean, she's an MVP, Bill. What a play. I've never seen Monday morning quarterbacking look this good. Look at that. She's done. She's hitting send. And it's in. And it's in.
It's in.
It's in.
But I'm losing who I call myself today in this world of illusion. Didn't dare to sing my name. That was when you came along. And I don't know where I would be or where I'll go if you weren't standing next to me. Your arms have carried me for miles. Here's where I belong. Life can be unfair. I just couldn't handle it. Still smell the bitter taste of misery and unfaith. I just be or where I'll go if you weren't standing next to me. Your arms have carried me for miles. Here's where I belong. Oh. Here's where I belong. Here's where I belong. But I was losing who I call myself today in this world of illusion. Didn't dare to sing my name. That was when you came along. And I don't know where I will be or where I'll go if you weren't standing next to me. Your arms carry me for miles. Here's where I belong.
Very inspiring break presentation.
You get good output.
Huh? So, everybody back, thank you. And we relax a bit, and now with the last session of 30 minutes and some question and answers later again. And so let me start. Let me start with the next topic, international relations and opportunities in the education system of Azerbaijan. And the first speaker is Günay Masimova, head of Baku Education Information Center, BEIC. Her topic is opportunities for local students to study abroad. Go ahead, Günay. And
thank you, Tobias. Thank you. Herkese salam. Mən Bakı Təhsil Məlumat Mərkəzinə
Let me greet you all. I am head of Baku Education Information Center. We have been in this business for nearly 27 years. And probably this is the reason I was invited over here, as over the course of these years, we have been quite popular. We have started back in 1997, and with the purpose of opening foreign education opportunities for Azerbaijani students, educate them about it, and work with them. And over these years, I have to say, I have had opportunities. I have been able to see the reforms and to witness the developments and changes, so which was quite a privilege to me. You know, to tell you the truth, Azerbaijan regained its independence in 1991, and a few years later, 6 years later, BIC started talking about education abroad. At the time, back those days, we were calling to parents to send their kids abroad. It was quite an unknown area, and it was quite old to many, you know. Prior to those years, during Soviet time, it was a closed country, and going abroad sounded like a dream. Sometimes it was unknown. And we were talking to parents about education. We were talking to students about opportunities that education is going to provide. And this was very difficult to convince sometimes. Another challenge was it was price-wise, it was hard, not accessible. And, you know, during Soviet days, education was free, so to say. And for many, people wouldn't accept paying for education and paying big money for education abroad. And this was also creating a lot of misunderstanding. Yes, indeed. Back those days, there were also a lot of scholarship opportunities, I have to say, for Azerbaijani students to get education abroad. And when we were searching for programs abroad, we were facing that we could see Azerbaijan in the list of eligible countries, which was creating opportunities for students. But as the time goes and trends are changing, and the political scene is changing, and unfortunately, it has impact on the education sector as well. And by 2007, Azerbaijani oil fund and the state launched its own program for education abroad that lasted until 2015. And I believe that this study abroad education program was an important boost to the development of education in Azerbaijan, because hundreds of Azerbaijani students got access to education abroad, and they were fully covered by the resources from oil fund. So some did their BA, some did MA, and some even did their PhD abroad. And today we can see some of those graduates back in the country, you know, or you see some of them working as diplomats, some of them working as high-level political, some of them work in the high-level political leadership. So those students are part of the management, part of the governance, part of the leading institutions, and which I believe was quite pivotal, and it was also important for expanding awareness on the importance of education abroad. Even though that study abroad program was seized in 2015, the new program was launched 2 years ago, which is good, and right now 80% of students can go to do their masters, and 20% can go to do their BA. And again, in top universities, in a number of areas that are important for the country, and definitely technical skills and engineering, AI, and the other majors around this are supported by the state program.
Hakkında dedim çünkü eğer biz xarici təhsildən danışırıqsa,
I decided to provide this snapshot on education abroad and study abroad. You know, we had to talk about these available opportunities. But overall, what we have for education abroad, the interest is skyrocketing, the interest is growing year by year, and people are ready to pay and ready to invest for a good education of their children. People are aspiring to reach best universities, and families are turning this into like a life goal. And every citizen has to enjoy this right of having a good quality education. And what we see that more and more students start seeking opportunities while being still in the last years of secondary school, and we work with those students in order to get them prepared. The most popular countries are the United States, UK, and Turkey. And Turkey is obvious. I mean, it's close. It's a fraternal country. Education in Turkey is generating a lot of interest for Azerbaijanis and is more accessible. When it comes to the United States and UK, and for the reason we have a lot of students traveling to these countries, because our students are mostly oriented on English language-based education, and the biggest countries with education in English is the United Kingdom and the United States. And US at the same time is popular for a reason that in US you can access scholarships. There's a higher probability of getting scholarship, which makes obviously the universities more attractive, and namely for students with very good performance. For our students, these underwater stones are a serious challenge, you know. Some of these, and there are some of these underwater challenges. You know, for example, when our students apply to the European schools, prestigious European schools in Europe are teaching in their own language, like be it. Miss Leila has raised her hand. No, I'll be asking my question later. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. As we as the students apply to the European countries, the first question they ask whether I have to get education in the local language or English. Again, solely because most of the students prefer English. But if you ask me which language is more popular, I would say German, obviously. And German language education is also popular as a second after English. Another challenge that we face is that in our public schools, the curriculum is of 11 years. European countries do not accept 11 graduates of 11 years. Most of the schools do not accept. They want to have graduates with 12 or 13 years of secondary or higher education. And not all of the schools offer foundation. So these are the hurdles. These are the underwater stones, as I call them, for applying to the European education. But overall, for every student, there is an option, there is an opportunity, there is a choice, and this pretty much depends on academic performance, on GPA of a student, on family's budget. If you match these two, you can always find a best choice for the student. And believe or not, for every budget, you can get a very decent school and with a good education. I believe I will close by telling that on interest, there are lots of companies in the country offering education abroad. The only challenge I see here is that right now there's an abundance of offerings, abundance of information. Sometimes filters are not in place. Making correct choice, picking the proper university. Not every university and not every university willing to offer its education to students does not necessarily meet the accreditation requirements and so on. So proper choice, proper selection is important. And unfortunately, there are so many companies, private companies, providing education abroad services that do not really provide access to good universities or decent universities, so to say, and there's no accreditation. There are some, people who are manipulating families. There are people who are not professional. They're just trying to gain profit out of it. And there will be two of my favorite schools in Azerbaijan talking after my intervention, and Francesco Bancini is here and Miss Yunatai is here. So, and one is offering IB education and the other one is offering A level. And I believe these schools can also play this role of filters because they can channel or they can orient and navigate their students to proper education abroad counseling. There are some ways to probably make this process less challenging, but as anything in this world has pros and cons. Anyways, this is all from my side, and I would offer a floor to Miss Leila if you have a question. No, let us first offer the floor to the speakers. We will have time for Q&A shortly after their intervention.
Yes, thank you very much indeed. And let me quickly switch over to Francesco Banchini, who is the CEO and director of the European Azerbaijan School, one of the famous international schools in Baku in Azerbaijan. Francesco, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Tobias. Again, brilliant webinar with a lot of speakers, very, very brilliant. And the last with Ms. Gunay Masimova, it was fantastic to see and to hear her analysis about the challenges, the pros and the cons of Azerbaijan and also internationally. So I represent EAS, but not only EAS, because we developed in the past few years an IB association, which comprised 7 different countries, not only Azerbaijan. But let me start firstly talk about EAS. So we are, in our mission, is embedded to provide an holistic education to nurture students to become global citizenship. So our vision is to cultivate dynamic learning where we equip students with not only academically potential, but also social and emotionally. What our value is to provide resilience, integrity, and instilling curiosity to all of our students and also parents, because most of the time we involve parents into our teaching and learning process. It is important for them to understand the assessment, the curriculum, and in what way we provide support. Nowadays, the teenagers, the new generation suffers, or it's very much fragile comparing to some past generations. So time is changing, and we need to equip ourselves with the tools, right tools, to provide support to students and parents, and also colleagues. And this is really, really important. So we also work collaboratively. We had a couple of projects with the Ministry of Education in the past. The first one was during the second Karabakh War. And we created a project called Ishik Tohumlar, so Seeds of Light. We started this cooperation with the Ministry of Education to support teachers with professional development and also students. So in total, we were able to support 350 families and students for free, no costs. And this is why we are open to collaborate to all different agencies. So our intention is to make a change, is to have an impact, not only in Azerbaijan, but also worldwide. Going back to what I was telling before, with our association, we have 7 different countries: Turkey, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan. And so we have a ramification network where we're going to help and provide professional development for teachers, leaders, coordinators. This is because we firmly believe that education has a power to make a change, and it's up to us to make a change. We want to have an impact, not only, again, in Azerbaijan, but also worldwide, because we want to inspire and nurture future generation. Someone said that there is no planet B, so we need to take action. And in terms of improve the sustainable goals, like the last amendment from the Mr. President, Janab Ilham Aliyev, so Azerbaijan is going green. We need to do our best. We are educators, so what we need to do is to have an impact on the students and also on the families. What is important for us is to train colleagues, because if we train colleagues with new tools, with new standards, we are able to engage the students. For us, it is important, and the students are engaged in the lesson, because we need to move away from a teacher-centered to a student-centered approach, where students are instilled with skills and not a notion of memorization, where it was in the past. So what is important is that professional development is tailored on the teacher's needs. So if we equip our teachers with the right tools, they are able to shift the mindset of the students and also the parents, where we have the students engaged in doing projects. And so the project can become action in Azerbaijan, like a climate action, like pollution, like gender equality, like one of our colleagues mentioned before. So there are many different things that we have responsibility upon, and we need to take action. We need to reflect and take action with all our community. If education has a power to make a change, not only in Azerbaijan, but also in the world, if we think that we implement different things in education, in one school, we can share these implementation in different schools, we can achieve the sustainable goals planned in 2015 by the UN in 2030. So for us, it is important to spread the word and implement the programs and to work collaboratively. In this way, there is no there is no way to compete because we work in the same direction, like the Finnish model. The Finnish model, there is no competition because they have the same understanding and the same way to move forward. And this is what we are doing, more or less. So in nuts and bolts, this is where we are, and this is what we do. And we are really, really delighted to be in Azerbaijan, to have an Azerbaijan identity, but with a vision European and worldwide. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Çok sağ olun.
Thank you very much for your inspiring presentation and words and goals and aims of your school and education concept. And if any questions, please wait another 10 minutes, and these 10 minutes will be filled with the presentation and speech of Günatay Kazimova, who is a colleague of Francesco, Head of Marketing, Admissions and Communications at the Baku Oxford School. Günatay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Greetings again, ladies and gentlemen. So, and thank you for all the speakers who have presented their wonderful presentation and insights of all different areas within and outside the country. So I'm going to share my screen, just a few minutes. Okay, I hope you can see the screen.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so
Yes.
much.
Wonderful school.
Thank you very much. So again, I'm happy to be here and thank you for organizers of this event. This is really productive and helpful event. And I'm honored to present Baku Oxford School here today. So I am Günatay, the Head of Marketing and Admissions and Communications in Baku Oxford School. So Baku Oxford School is an international school founded in 1998, and since that time we are operating as one of the international schools in Baku, serving both local and international community here. So the school is accredited by the Ministry of Science and Education and the Council of International Schools. So we, as I mentioned, we are the Cambridge International School, and we are offering Cambridge International curriculum and programs throughout the school. We are enrolling students starting from 3 years old up to 18 years old. And upon completion of the school, students opt to choose between the state diploma program, which ends in grade 11, and the ASA level program, which ends in grade 12, which is year 13, according to the Cambridge International curriculum. So the school has core values and guiding statements, and we try to empower the school and learn, thrive, and be unique at BOS. And also our mission is to raise empowered, compassionate, and creative thinkers of the global community. So I'm going to talk about the student body in our school. We are quite diverse and multicultural and international community in our school, and we enroll all students regardless of the age, the ethnicity, or religion. And we open for everyone, and special education kids as well. The school at the moment has around 740 students, and majority of the student body is local Azerbaijani kids, and the rest are around 35% are international students from around different countries. You can see on the screen, the majority number of the students are from Turkey, UK, Russia, India, and Iran, and Kazakhstan. And the faculty and staff in our school also from the different nationalities, and the international staff members teaching across the school different subjects such as humanities and global perspectives. The majority number of staff are local Azerbaijani teachers, which are qualified to teach the international Cambridge curriculum. And we have ongoing professional development programs, and we train our teachers all the time throughout the year. Just briefly about the organization structure of our school. The school is governed by the advisory board, and the leading bodies are head of school from academic side and the general director from the finances and procurement. And you can see the subdivisions across the school. We have the primary and secondary school, and at the same time, the student support services, which serve the students' needs. And in our support services, we have psychologists and learning support specialists. So we collaborate with a different number of organizations. Since we are the Cambridge International School, and at the same time, we are the official Cambridge International Examination Center. We are the official SAT Examination Center, and we collaborate with university in Germany, the University of Paderborn, who sent their students to our school for internship opportunities. And within a year, we host around 3 or 4 students from university for an internship purposes, who literally teach in our classrooms and assist our teachers to teach German language here. Because the language of instruction in the school is English, but in addition to English, we also teach modern foreign languages, which are German, French, Spanish, Russian, and Azerbaijani languages. So we use also the BridgeU platform, which is the university and career guidance platform. In addition to the college guidance counselor, who is a full-time employee in our school, we also use this platform for university destinations. iSAMS, this is our school management system where we collaborate with the parents and community and share the reports and gradings. And we have the separate student, teacher, and parent portals on iSAMS platform. And we also collaborate with the Optimus. This is a training company which providing the online and on-site trainings for our staff members for an ongoing professional development programs. So what kind of support our school provides for students and community, you can see from the screen. We have the learning support department with special teachers. We have the college guidance counseling, the student council. We provide the EAL support for non-English speaking students to help them with proficiency or improve their English language skills. We have the parent support coordinator who support the parents with a relationship with their kids. School psychologists are full-time workers in our school, and we also have enrichment program for native English speakers to enrich their English language. And also we are participating in a Model United Nations every year. This is about the community service events. The school consists of the groups of students who are organizing a number of events to serve the community. There are cultural, social, charity, and recreational events happening in our school. We are working with the orphanages, with the animal shelters and old age houses, and visiting martyrs' families, providing them with like mental and financial support. And this is all organized by our student council and the community service club, consisting of a group of very active students of Back Oxford School. So just a little bit about destinations. This is a class of 2023, the last year's graduating class, who have entered the couple of universities in different parts of the world. And I just highlighted a few of them here. The majority of students choose to go to Turkey, to UK, and some of the students decide to stay in Azerbaijan, US, Canada, and other countries. So we are collaborating, as I mentioned, with different organizations already, and we are open for future collaborations. And In the same time, we would love to speak and discuss the opportunities with the schools or education entities in Baltic countries and in Germany and other places who would be interested in opportunities in Azerbaijan. We are the organizers and like founders of Baku Model United Nations in Azerbaijan, which was founded in 2007. And this is the model of the United Nations, and we are hosting it in our campus. So the first Baku model of United Nations launched in 2013, and since that time we are conducting it every year. And any schools interested in Baku MUN can apply through the Instagram or social media or Facebook pages under the Baku IMUN. And to get more information about the participation programs or kind of topics they can choose for presentation. Then other opportunities can be debates online or on-site possibilities. Exchange of students and teachers would be great opportunity for both sides to send and exchange the teachers and students for international experience, Olympiads and historical tours, and some other projects which can be discussed further. So you can contact our school to my direct email, or we have active WhatsApp number. Any other opportunities or any other ideas that you would like to talk, to discuss, and tell us, you are welcome to do so. We are very active on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, so you can follow us and waiting for your questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you too for your contribution. And now the floor is open to the audience for questions to Günay, Francesco, and Günatay. Is there any interest?
Yes. It was first my hand raised. So, sualımı Günay xanıma vermək istərdim. Xaricdə təhsillə bağlı.
My question is to Günay. I really enjoyed your presentation on education abroad. Thank you very much for your insightful presentation. As a mother of a student, you know, I closely follow the news and developments. So my question is, when we say education abroad, when we talk about the US, Europe, UK, and so on, you know, usually these are countries. These are the countries. But Baltic states are not that known, you know, while they're also EU members. For example, I have heard and I've read a lot about Estonia, that Estonia offers very good opportunities for IT-related education. And I know some students who decided to go there. But that said,
ətraflı məlumatımız yoxdur. Yəni mənim şəxsən məlumatım yoxdur. Bu yüzden sualım...
I wouldn't say I have lots of information about other countries. So, do you have inquiries about these countries, about education in Baltic states? And what are the areas of interest? And why the interest to these countries is not that high? Are there any challenges? Maybe there are some obvious advantages of some other EU countries. They are also European countries. And probably they're closer to some post-Soviet parents or Soviet parents because Baltic states happen to be in the same part of the same country. So why parents are not aware of these countries and education there? I believe other fellow colleagues would be also delighted to learn about it. Thank you very much. As you voiced your question, I kind of figured out the two reasons. You know, the reason I have talked about US, UK, and Turkey, because people are applying there. But it's also about the size. You know, US, UK, and Turkey are big countries, and they can accommodate more students or more universities. But it does not mean that universities of Baltic countries or universities of Eastern Europe do not have students from Azerbaijan. On opposite, the interest towards Baltic states is growing in the recent years. You know, when parents or child or student knocks on our door, you know, each of them will arrive with their own vision. Every family has its own goal. Our first question is, what is your idea as a family or as a student? What do you want? What are your values? What are your ideas? This is what is guiding principles. Some families do not want to send kids far away. Some of them don't want to send to the neighboring states. If we talk about Baltic states, sometimes families say, oh, I don't want it to be a post-Soviet country. Instead of that, let the child stay here at ADA. Unfortunately, some parents still see Baltic countries as part of former Soviet Union. But even during Soviet days, Baltic countries were different. They were Europeans, so to say, at all times, not only after independence. So my point is that based on our information, based on our research, these countries provide very good education, and I see growing interest. Yes, Estonia is renowned. There are universities in technical field, and the number of Azerbaijani students out there is growing. You know, they have their own admission exam, so-called internal admission exam, and sometimes it's quite complicated. Some of students failed, you know, that internal admission. When you get to the university through a very easy process, they do not appreciate. You know, they do not think that university is so important if you easily get admitted. But if a student has to go through a complicated process or tests and so on, then university values more or matters much. So I believe, again, the education in Baltic states is known to some, is appreciated. There are students who apply, and again, the number is growing, and namely in technical fields. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Further questions? Now your EIC is a private institution, right? Did I get that correctly? It's a private, not a state body or public, but it's
EIC, Baku Education Information Center. Yes, it is private now. Yeah, starting from 2015.
So
other questions? Huh?
There is, as far as I know, no question from the chat side.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. My question is to Ms. Günay Masimova. So really, it's very hard work, and I appreciate your work. And is there any tracking system for alumni, or you are just involved in admission procedure?
Teşekkür ederim Günatay Hanım sualınız için. Bəli, bizim 1997-ci ildən
bu yana since 1997 we have a huge cohort, huge network of graduates or alumni, so to say, and on a regular basis we keep in touch, you know. Some of them already bring their children to our Center for Education Abroad. I mean, this is not an official network. There is AAA, American Alumni Association. This is like a registered network. Ours is not formal. This is about us being in touch with students, meeting them here, there, and again, as I told, some of them have already grown up and bring their children to send them abroad. That's how we build it. So when you're in touch with them, do they contribute this way or another to the enterprises operating in the country? You know, the best example I can refer to during the war, during the Second Karabakh War, as you might remember, there was a huge information war in the social media, and our students, I believe, all of them were part of this process, you know, through social media networks, through chats, through social media pages. Back then, we have seen how connected they are. So not only in education, there was also a charity foundation, and most of the donors were exactly those students who were sent abroad for education, you know. I was part of the, I'm also a member of the Red Hearts, and I'm in the management board of Red Hearts Foundation that was supporting many of the war victims. So students have been crucial, have been truly instrumental in supporting, and they were not only supporting like through charity, they were also supporting educational projects. You know, for example, Azerbaijani students from California are supporting education of girls in Azerbaijan. They provide their donation, they support them to promote their education. We have projects like that. On top of this, something I remember is that if we talk about students who make to Ivy League, you know, we attract current students to help those aspiring and share their knowledge on essay writing, share their knowledge on how to better build admission process. And these students are instrumental, critical for those aspiring to get to Ivy League universities. Thank you very much, Ms. Gülay.
So, any other remarks or questions? If this is not the case, I would close the session, if you agree.
Leila Musayeva raised the hand.
What?
Leila Musayeva raised the hand.
Leila Musayeva.
Okay.
Thank you so much. This is the last question. Don't worry. Mənim sualım Günatay xanımadır, eğer buradadırsa.
My question is to Miss Günatay, if she's still around. Yes, I am. I am indeed. So, Miss Günatay, thank you very much for your presentation. Just a quick question I've got. As you know well, there are internship opportunities for university students during the second year and so on and so forth. So, what about opportunities to send interns to your school? Maybe like, is it possible for our students to end up in your schools, like English language teachers and so on? Have you worked with universities? Have you ever had this experience? And is it feasible? Is it feasible at all? Thank you very much for the question you raised. Right now, it's under discussion. A number of universities filed the request, and some are individually filing, some are filing as a university. You know, it's a private school, as you know. The system is slightly different from the security point of view and so on. So this is an issue to be discussed by the management. And I believe we can make it happen. And we would ask the universities, if they have a genuine interest, to send the letter, be it by email, be it by regular post. And based on that, we can start the communication and understand the scope, understand the number of people we can accommodate, and at which levels. You know, we have primary, secondary, and higher education, but we can obviously try to accommodate the need. You know, we can take several students to primary, several to secondary, and then run the internship. I believe you have my number, and please get in touch. Let's discuss in detail. Thank you very much indeed. There's a question in the chat to Mehmet Çakar.
Question to Mehmet?
Yes.
How do you see perspectives in cooperation with Baltic countries? That's to Mehmet from Olena.
Hello, Olena. Thank you very much for the question. I mean, we need to talk, and we need to see in what perspective and what field you would like to cooperate with us as AHK Azerbaijan, or also as BIVE. We're always ready to cooperate with you. Yes, I can write my email here. Please get in touch with me, and then we can see what we can do together.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
So everybody happy? Yes. Good. Good. Are we through? Do I see correctly?
Yes, it seems so.
Good. So again, thank you very much for your attention. You paid this afternoon to our webinar. I don't know if Liga Sicheva wants to have a closing word too. Is she still here?
Yes, I'm here still, and I would like to thank you very much for a very interesting presentation. So actually, I got even ideas for new projects for future. So I think definitely we'll find collaboration opportunities. And I really also hope to those organizations and companies who participated from Latvia, Estonia, and Finland, what is like Central Baltic region, that yes, let's say I hope they get some relevant contacts already and get information what might be useful, because most of them will come also on March for business mission to Azerbaijan. So I think there will be even opportunities to meet face on face between 10 of March till 15 of March in Baku. So yes, we are open for cooperation, and thank you, Tobias, for moderating this webinar. You did a great job. Thank you. And of course, Leila for doing all the rest of things. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you, Liga, and everybody. I think we've mentioned everything, and for a strong network between Baltics, Finland, Germany, and Azerbaijan, I think this was a very, very nice event. And hopefully see you soon again. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Have a good day, and don't freeze too much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.